Hi, my name is Peyton, and my dad's the creator of Raw Deal, the reality show. Right now, we are looking for investors, and with your help, this show could be huge. Go to myrawdeal.com and contact my dad today.
With all the people in the world today, someone's always getting a raw deal. I'm the new host, Jason Bing. This is Raw Deal, and these are their stories.
This deadbeat person turns out to be a law enforcement officer.
There's a fire. Get out now.
We were at number 2 with our million seller right under the Beatles.
She would say, I'm going to get you. I'm going to screw you so bad.
There's nothing but smoke and flames coming from that part of the building.
I haven't seen a penny off of the sales.
It pretty much ruined my clean record.
Oh my God, there goes everything I own.
The industry swept us under the rug.
I got the raw deal, pal.
That's what I'm battling right now. That's my raw deal.
I've had nothing but raw deals.
Hello, Orlando. My name is Jason Bing, and you know what pisses me off? Is local companies that take advantage of people who don't know any better. This guy just got ripped off by a tire company right here in the Central Florida area, and we're here to get the story. Come on, let's go. Hey, you John?
Yes.
Hey, man, I'm Jason with Raw Deal, the reality show. We're here to get your story.
Oh, awesome. Let's do it. Come on in.
Cool. Thanks. Come on, let's go. Hey, John, thanks for having us come in your house, man. Really appreciate it.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
For telling us your story. You get a Raw Deal t-shirt, so there you go.
Oh, thank you.
All right, well, why don't we start by telling me a little bit about yourself. What do you like to do?
I play poker with the little local Texas Hold'em League that plays in different venues around the area.
Yeah, they're pretty fun to play with?
Yeah, a bunch of great people there.
Yeah, what's the name of the organization?
Oh, it's the Texas Hold'em Poker Tours.
Have you ever heard of the thing in Daytona that they do, the deep stack?
Yes.
Yeah, I was just in Daytona, and I want a 2-night stay at the Daytona Inn Beach Resort. Great. Just a word to everybody out there, if you're coming to Orlando or Daytona and you want to get a hotel room right on the beach, go to Daytona Inn Beach Resort. Super nice people, nicest people on the beach. So anyway, you submitted your story. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what happened?
Well, my son was on his way to come and play poker with me, and he was driving my car, and he called up and said, Dad, the car's overheating. I said, okay, let's get it stopped, cool it down, got some water in it, we got the car home. The next morning, I took it into the local tire store.
So you went and you met him, and you brought some water, and you kind of put water in the car, or how'd it go down?
Yeah, I had to call a friend to meet us over there, and he come over with a couple gallon of water, put the water in the car. Car drove fine, but obviously the water was still coming out of the car, so I knew there was a problem with it.
Okay.
I took it to a local tire store the next morning, and after several hours, they said, hey, your intake manifold gasket needs to be replaced. I said, well, I don't have a lot of money. How much is this going to cost me?
Correct.
They started out, they wanted over $1,400 to do this.
Okay, so what did you say about that?
Yeah, it was one of those, I was like, man, that's a lot. Can you help me out? Do something, not make it so much. So they said, hey, we can get you a credit card. Come in and fill out the paperwork, and we'll get you a credit card to see what we can get them to approve. So in the meantime, my wife put a little $300 deposit down.
Okay, so they can
start
working on
the work.
Okay.
Had the credit card application filled out. They came back and said they'll approve $800 on the credit.
So you did the credit app right there in the store, or did you bring it home first?
No, right there in the store, filled it out, they submitted it, came back, they said $800.
Okay.
So they fixed the car and called me up. He says, okay, it's going to be $1,200.
Oh, wait a minute. So now the total is just $1,200, not $1,400?
Yeah, not $1,400, $1,200.
Awesome.
So, okay.
So now you're even saving more money. Now you got the 3 in there, you got the 8 in there.
They're wanting another 100.
Right.
I don't have another 100, man. They said, I'll tell you what, we'll just call it even. $800 on the card, $300 that you already paid, $1,100.
Sounds fair.
It sounded fair. So, okay, fine, did it. Got the car back, drove 2.5 miles. On my way home, it overheated again.
Like that fast?
That fast.
Okay, so now you're kind of maybe a little upset. And did you call them or what happened?
Absolutely. I called them up. They sent their mechanic out right away. First thing he says, I guess we forgot to go ahead and fill it back up after running it all that time. And I thought it was kind of strange that it would overheat that quick, but he says, listen, take it on home. If you have any problems, give us a call. We'll take care of you.
Oh, so they put water in it again and then you drove it home.
Put more water, brought it home. The next afternoon, I'm on my way to go to school, and it overheats again.
How far is that from the house?
I got a mile from the house.
Okay, not very far.
So I actually had some water in the car with me from the previous night.
Okay.
So put the water in it, zip back over there. My wife met me there. I had to go to school, so I took off. She ended up spending several hours there, and they came out and they said, well, now we figured out that your head gasket's blown.
Well, isn't that part of a manifold? I mean,
Well,
I don't know, but
I thought the same thing. I'm like, guys, you replaced the gaskets. What's going on? They said, well, that's the top part of the engine, not the back part of the engine. I said, something's wrong here. Shouldn't you guys have checked that? How could it blow?
right, they
that
got
quick?
the whole engine wide open because they got the top half off of it, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So why don't they just take a look at that? Because, okay, so then what
I don't
happened?
understand. They come back and they told the wife, they said, it's going to cost about $1,400.
More on top of the 1,100.
That's not how they explained it to her. They told her $1,400. She thought, oh, good, we're only going to have to come up with another couple $100 to cover the difference.
Right, because you had 11 into it, so now you need
Now-
another 3 just to get it to the 14.
Exactly. That wasn't the case.
So did they call your wife and tell her this?
She was there,
Okay.
and they told her that. So when I called him to find out exactly what was wrong and how we were going to take care of it, he says, it's $1,400 more. And I went, wait a minute, something's a little hokey with this. I already spent $1,100 and you didn't fix the problem. He said, well, it's a different problem. That problem was also there and that's been repaired. Now we got this problem that's come up.
Right, what are they charging you for? The labor again to take off the top again? And I mean, they should work with you and make
Actually,
sure.
That $1,400 was after they subtracted the labor from the previous job. They wanted to charge an additional $2,100.
Okay, wow. So go ahead.
At this point, I'm like, guys, I already told you I don't have any more money. What gives? They said, well, once we do this, basically you're going to have a new engine. But it doesn't help me because you didn't fix the problem in the first place.
Correct.
They said, yes, we did. And this is something that happens with cars that are older. They tend to have some problems. So when it's all said and done, I'm like, man, I got no choice. I got to have the car.
Right.
I'm going to school. My son's going to school and work. We only have that extra car for the two of us to do. So I end up getting my son to pull money out of his account that he's been saving to buy himself a car. And at this point, he ended up helping me out with the money to cover the balance. So now I'm out $2,500.
$2,500. That's amazing, man. It's a raw deal right there.
It's a total raw deal.
Well, John, thanks for having us out. We really appreciate you telling us your story.
Well, thanks for coming.
Yep. It's unfortunate that we take our cars to these mechanics and sometimes they misdiagnose them and then we have to pay for it in the end. I think that's a raw deal all the way. So now it's your turn to go to myrawdeal.com and vote for who you think got the rawest deal. I'm Jason Bing. Thanks for watching.
Photography off the beaten path. Capture the moment, create a memory, or tell a story with Synergy Images. Larry Flynn is experienced in everything from nature to lifestyles to weddings. Larry crafts the widest spectrum of moods and feelings through his photos. Contact Synergy Images at 407-616-0064 or go to the website at www.larry-flynn.com. Capture your moments today with Synergy Images.
Orlando's favorite painter, Jay Pons Painting, is on fire, servicing all of Central Florida. When you want more than just a painter, call Jay Pons Painting at 407-953-8943. J. Pons Painting specializes in commercials, residentials, murals, and more. Contact J. Pons Painting today for your free estimate, or go to the website at www.jponspainting.com.
Hey, what's up? I'm Sean. I'm on the camera department for My Raw Deal, the reality show. Have you ever had a raw deal? Well, we want your story. So go to myrawdeal.com and submit your story today. Who knows, you might be the next big winner.
We're here with the lovely Maria today. Maria, for telling us your story, we're going to give you this Raw Deal t-shirt. There you are, dear.
Thank you.
We know you're feeling a little bit under the weather. We appreciate you coming out and telling us your story anyway.
Thank
So tell us about your story. What happened?
Okay. My car has been broken for the past few months, so I had to go to a rental company to just pretty much get transportation through a rental for the meantime.
Sure. So you trying to find the best deal
Yes.
on a rental car?
I went online just to search for the best deals
Sure.
possible. I came across this company, local, and the prices were unbeatable, definitely.
Right.
And I actually booked my reservation to a Toyota. In the picture, it looked about a year 2011 or so.
Relatively new.
Yes. So when I went to book the car, first of all, the people were very rude.
Right.
And they gave me the keys to the car, and it was nothing like the car in the picture.
So false advertising.
Yes, it was in really bad conditions, but
It's not even close to
Definitely
Toyota
not.
Camry.
but I still took it just because of the price. So I mean, I left, and I ended up getting pulled over on my way to the hospital, and the first thing the cop says to me is, "Are you aware that your tag is expired?" And I said, "I have no clue."
Right, I mean, you're in a rental car. What
It's
do
a
you know
rental. I have
about the
no clue.
registration? That's
And
not
he
your
said,
business.
"Well, on your tag, it says that your expiration is expired in June of 2011. When I ran it on the computer, it said June of 2010.
So they gave you paperwork to prove that you had rented the car from them, right?
Yes.
And now, did you
So
give that to the officer?
I gave that to the officer. He wasn't fully understanding about it.
Okay.
He didn't really understand how a company would rent me a car.
that
He
had
didn't. I don't think he really believed me.
Okay.
But I mean, I was showing him the paper and everything.
Did he give you the ticket?
He gave me a ticket, and he gave me a court date.
Really?
Yes.
So now, did you call the rental company after that? and
Yes.
Let them know?
As soon as I went to my house after that, I called the company and I told them I'm not driving this car anymore.
Right.
I'm not taking
You
the
could get a
chance.
ticket if you drive
Exactly.
it back to wherever the dealer is. or
So
wherever the
I
rental
told
place
them I need you to pick up the car or do something to it, but I cannot drive the car anymore. So they transferred me to the manager, and he was absolutely rude to me.
And you explained to him the
I explained to
situation.
him.
How did he handle it?
Obviously he knew what was going on,
Right.
but it was kind of like he was defensive about it. Like he
So
knew.
he was trying to cover it
Yes.
up? Or, okay.
Yes. So one of the questions that he asked me is your tank full? Because when they rented to me, the tank was full.
Right.
So I told him, no, it's halfway right now. So he told me, okay, well, for all those gallons that you have empty, we're gonna charge you like almost the triple. So that's when I got a little bit more upset, and I told him, listen, I will not pay you extra.
Right.
You already it's already been this bad deal that you gave me a car and it's expired tag. I will not pay you any extra.
So he actually didn't do anything to try and help you out. He didn't send someone out right away. He argued with you. How long were you on the phone with him?
For about 35 minutes. And about 30 minutes later, somebody showed up in my house.
Okay. So they did take the car back.
They did. So when the guy got to my house, I followed with my mother's car.
Right.
I followed him to the company, hopefully trying to talk to the manager.
Sure.
So we got there and the manager had left already.
Really?
So
that's convenient.
Yes, for him.
Right.
So I pretty much spoke to another attendant, and I guess she knew. So she tried to tell me, well, you know what? Sometimes they steal the stickers.
Right.
And I'm like, it's trust me, it's not that. I see it. The cop told me, here's the ticket. And she said, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. So I had about 3 weeks left on the reservation.
Sure.
So they charged me the whole 3 weeks.
They charged you the whole 3 weeks?
Actually, the whole month that I rented out. And I had to pay the gas, but the attendant, not the manager, the attendant actually lowered for the gas.
Okay. Now, did you notice that any other vehicles might have had expired tags on them as well?
Yes. When I was leaving the place, I noticed that absolutely 9 out of 10 cars had expired tags.
Really? So this was part of their practice.
Exactly.
They
Yes.
knew that they were doing this. That was just part of business.
They knew what they were doing. So what I did is I pulled out my phone and I started taking pictures of every tag in there, and I make sure to get the model of the car and the color, obviously. So I took pictures. I took about 10 to 12 pictures, and the route attendant inside came out and told me, if you don't leave right now, we're gonna call the cops. And I said, please call the cops because you will be doing me a favor.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I mean, it's just something they do, and they fool so many other people.
Right.
And I just...
And they just get away with it.
They just get away with it.
So you ended up having to pay
for
the full month of a car that you only used for a week.
Because when I went to rent it, I had signed the contract.
Sure.
Saying that this was the amount I was going to pay regardless.
Now, did you also get stuck with the ticket after that too?
Yes. I ended up going to court, and I ended up paying about over $300 in court fees.
Oh my gosh. Well, Maria, thank you for telling us your story. Hopefully you feel better.
Thanks.
And now it's up to you. Go to myrawdeal.com now and vote for which story you think got the rawest deal. Will it be story number 1? Maybe it'll be story number 2. It could even be story number 3. The choice is yours. Go to the computer now and type in myrawdeal.com. I'm your host, Anthony Castaneda. Thanks for watching.
Hi, I'm Dominique, the Slaker for Raw Deal, the reality show. Have you heard about our merchandise? Go to myrawdeal.com and check out our hats, our shirts, our DVDs, and our Raw Deal flip-flops. Now you can walk like a movie star. I'm Dominique, and it's time to bang it up and get the gear. Raw Deal gear.
Oviedo Towing is on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We are certified towing and recovery specialists with over 10 years experience. We offer light, medium, and heavy-duty towing. All of our operators at Oviedo Towing are PWOF certified and fully insured. You know it, we'll tow it. Call Oviedo Towing at 407-671-8818 or visit the website at oviedotowing.com. Tow your problems away today with Oviedo Towing. With all the people in the world today, someone's always getting a raw deal. I'm the new host, Jason Bing. This is Raw Deal, and these are their stories.
This deadbeat person turns out to be a law enforcement officer.
There's a fire. Get out now.
We were at number 2 with our million seller right under the Beatles.
She say, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna screw you so bad.
There's nothing but smoke and flames coming from that part of the building.
I haven't seen a penny off of the sales.
It pretty much ruined my clean record.
Oh my God, there goes everything I own.
The industry swept us under the rug.
I got the raw deal, pal.
That's what I'm battling right now. That's my raw deal.
I've had nothing but raw deals.
Hello, my name's Jason Bing, and I'm the new Season 2 host. We're here with Fox. Fox, thanks for coming out.
Thanks, man.
For telling us your story, you get the Raw Deal t-shirt.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a combat veteran, 6 years in the Army.
Oh yeah, when did you sign up?
About 2000, year 2000.
Cool. Do you have any hobbies?
Yeah, I'm a singer for a band called On the Edge of Ashes.
On the Edge of Ashes, that's right. You sent me a disc. Is it cool if I use some of your music on the show?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Oh yeah, promote it. Big time.
Cool. On the Edge of Ashes.
On the Edge of Ashes.
Anyway, tell us about your Raw Deal. What happened?
We went to Kuwait. I was deployed to Kuwait back in, I think it was 2003. We get deployed, and we've got the Connexes coming in off the boat.
Okay.
And so.
What's a Connex?
Connex is some, a big supply bin, pretty much. It's like a giant.
Oh, okay. Something to carry supplies, food,
right.
Whatever.
Supplies, hygiene items, stuff like that. Things you're gonna need for the deployment.
Okay.
So and it comes off the boat and it's staged in the staging area, probably about, I don't know, 16 clicks away from where we were.
What's 16 clicks? What is that?
Click is a kilometer. So
okay. How far is that?
It's a little. I think it's a little under a mile, I believe.
Oh, so sometimes they don't land right. You might have to go for a mile or two to get your supplies.
Yeah. Well, at the beginning, before we went in, we went out to get the stuff. That way we had it when we went into Iraq.
So you and a buddy went to go get the Connex
right.
box.
There was probably about 4 of us on the convoy.
Okay.
Out there. It wasn't a red zone at the time, but we were.
What does red zone mean?
Combat.
Oh, so nobody was shooting at you.
Yeah,
you guys kind of.
Right. It was kind of relaxed at the time, but we were preparing to go into red. So we get out there and it's, a nice little staging area. It's got a weight tent, it's got, the food tent, it's got everything going. Myself and my sergeant at the time, we go to the weight tent, he's my workout buddy at the time. And so we work out, and on the way back, there was a soldier, he had fatigued and fell asleep behind the wheel of a Humvee. And that Humvee just happened to hit me that night while we were walking across the camp. He probably was doing about 15 to 20 miles an hour estimated, and slammed right into me. It's not really that fast, but at the same time, you're talking about a Humvee that's...
Oh, one of those monster...
Yeah.
So then what happened?
Well, I woke up, and I didn't know, I thought a mortar had hit us. And I was freaking out.
Where'd you wake up? Was it just kind of right there, or
yeah,
in
it
the
was,
hospital?
Well, it was like 15 feet away from where the impact happened. But
so it knocked you 15 feet?
Yeah, he knocked me for a loop, man.
Oh, okay.
Like, it was bad.
A big vehicle like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wake up, man, and I got my NCO, my buddy standing on me. Dude, be still, don't move. We're gonna check you out real quick. And I heard this voice in my head. It said, "Get up." And I was like, "Man, help me up." And I got up. We get back to the staging area, and my unit, they're like, "Well, we're gonna leave it up to you. You're one of our best shooters." They said, "Okay, if you want to stay, we really need you to stay. We want you to stay out here, but if you want to go back to the rear, that we understand that." So they left it up to me, a whole soldier.
If you went to the back of the line, what would happen?
Whenever I say the rear, that means the people back in the States.
Oh, okay. So you stayed.
Yeah, I was dumb. I shouldn't have.
You stayed a week, got better.
Well, I told the unit, I said, well, give me 2 weeks light duty, or a week light duty, and they said, okay, check it out. And I got back in the gym, started working out. After a week and a half, my body was just right back into things, and it was, I don't know. Nowadays I'm feeling it bad. Like I can't, like my back's all messed up, my shoulders are messed up.
So did they document this stuff when you were over there? Because I know being in the military, you have to bring your documents everywhere you're stationed, kind of like a driver's license thing.
That's the bad thing about it. I've got one person that remembers me getting hit.
they lost your documents? Is that what you're saying?
Well, there was a change of command while we were out in Iraq. Whenever there's a change of command, there's a bunch of paperwork that is, left in limbo until the next commander or whoever comes in and takes over and sets it right.
So did they document you getting hit?
Supposedly they did, and I was looking for that documentation, and there's nowhere to be found. They said, well,
But you didn't know that yet, right?
Yeah, I didn't know that until I got back to the rear. I spent 7 months over there after I'd been hit. I went through, countless convoys. I've taken fire. I've seen too much stuff for one person to see in their lifetime.
When you finally got out, where was that?
Well, I got out in 2004 for the first time in Fort Hood, Texas.
Texas, okay.
Yeah, I got out there. Actually came down here and went to Full Sail, tried to go to school and do the civilian thing, and it wasn't happening, man.
Well, in Texas, sometimes when soldiers come back.
Oh man.
Was anybody there, or was it just you coming back?
No, well, it was at that time there was only us that were getting out of the Army. My time had come up. I'd been at war for 7 months, and I said, man, I'm done. My back was starting to hurt because of the Humvee wreck. My shoulders were starting to hurt, and it was it's time for me to get out. And it's kind of like they looked at me as like I was a deserter or something, man. And
was that a time where family comes to meet with you? Or?
Yeah, of course, man. And that's another thing. That's one of the biggest things that has messed me up so bad, man. Is because when I got off the bird, man, it was like nobody there for me, man. It was just like, where's everybody at? Because there's more people like me that are coming out of the Army that are getting a raw deal from their unit, because I don't know, for some reason their unit just didn't take care of them.
Or they lost the paperwork.
Or they lost the paperwork or something.
I guess it doesn't matter if it's 1942 or 2012. It seems like when somebody gets hurt, they're losing the paperwork.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, I hope we can do something for you.
I hope so too, man.
Thanks for coming on and telling us your story.
Appreciate
and we really appreciate you coming out here.
Cool, man. Thank you.
Now it's up to you to vote on who you thought got the Ross deal. Is it story number 1? Maybe it's story number 2. Who knows? It might even be story number 3. Go to myrawdeal.com and vote now. I'm Jason Bing. Thanks for watching. Hello, my name is Jason Bing, and I'm the new host of Season 2. You want the Raw Deal t-shirt? Maybe you want to win the trophy. Who knows? You might even want the $2,000, huh? Is that what you want? Well, then get off the couch, go to myrawdeal.com, and submit your story now. You can win $2,000. Get the t-shirt, win the trophy. Come on! And go to myrawdeal.com and sign up today. I'm Jason Bing, your host. Thanks for watching.